basically bring awareness for both families of kids with disabilities as well as first responders, fire, police, ambulance. Basically that they need to work together, they need to know about each other to make it work. And the 911 registration goes through Concord so that should there, like if I had to call an ambulance at my house, it would come up on the screen automatically that there's a 9-year-old autistic male in the house, so they would know to approach it differently.
And how is it different? What is the issues that a child with autism might do in a situation? What are some of the concerns that this house is helpful?
Running and hiding is the biggest because they can't speak. So if police or fire tells them to do something, some of them can't speak. It will look like they're not listening to them sometimes, and then there's others who can. So it just depends on the level of disability in the child. But you can't just run up to a child with autism and just grab them and touch them. You really have to, each one is different, so you have to listen to the caregiver more. But that's about the biggest fears that we have going in. For example, a fire, I know my child would hide, right. And they would, so a regular sweep of the building wouldn't get them, and hollering to him wouldn't find him. Yeah. So those are the biggest.
So that's really important information
it is.
For first responders to be
it is,
aware
and with police, it's even bigger because some of their behaviors look flippant or rude or whatever, and that's not really what it is. Right. So they need to understand that, this child is just not able to speak to them the way that they would expect.
And how did you come to this idea? How did this idea come together?
Well, I work for Lancaster Fire Department. I'm an EMT, okay. And being a mom also. And then Elizabeth Webster, who works for Easter Seals in Concord, she did a training for Karen and Jen and I, and a whole bunch of us actually, 17 people, to become parent advocates for autism. And she started this 911 registration down south in southern New Hampshire. And it's just worked out so well to let them know. And then touching and trucking, being familiar, like my son has autism, but he knows all these people because I work for him. Yeah. But like her children don't. So if they see, flashing lights or something, it's going to scare them. And so it's just a way to make them know about each other.
The other thing we're looking to do today was basically have a way to bring families together. So we figured this was an event where we're kind of hitting two birds with one stone. So letting the responders know. But a lot of times up here, Northern Human Services for people with disabilities, if you fold the state in half, we cover 49% of the state geographically. We're 8% of the population. So there's a huge feeling of like isolation, and I'm a big advocate of getting things past Concord because everyone seems to think the state ends there, and it does actually go all the way to Canada. So, letting families up here know that, we're not alone, there are other families, and kind of finding a way to connect them as well.
So really,
I already had, what is it, 18 that have gone through and registered? And
wow.
That's just so far this morning. So
that's terrific.
It's turning out to be great, but this is only the first one we want to do. We want to do one in Berlin, we want to do one in Littleton, so this is our trial because it was my department, and, and I have to give a big thank you to Lancaster and Whitefield fire departments because they're both here and they're both helping. Yeah. And also to Northern Human Services and the Family Council because they funded it. Yeah.